Win as one. EA Sports FIFA 21 sponsors Saturday Social.
We've asked Spencer today to pick his starting 11 for England at Euro 2020 this coming summer. It's not going to be easy. We're going to be going through position by position and getting his thought process on each one. So let's not waste any time. I want to know your formation to start off here, Spencer. What formation are you going for?
You could call it a 4-2-3-1. You could call it a 4-3-3. Depends on the way you look at the game. But it's a four at the back, I think, crucially to start, because there was a bit of a question mark there as to whether he's going to go 3, which I think he could. But I've got 4 for me at the back.
Okay, so kick us off, Spence, in goal. First up, who are you going for? First name on the team sheet, in between sticks. Who is it?
Pope for me. Tough. It was between him and Henderson. I wouldn't go Pickford right now. Obviously, he's injured anyway. Henderson, if he'd played a little bit more this season, I think he might have got the nod. He's got some really good stats coming out, but I feel like Pope hasn't really got the opportunity he deserves yet. He's been doing it for a while now for Burnley, so stick him in.
Okay, looks like Spencer's going on form over tournament experience there. Chunkz, do you agree with his first pick, or are you in total disagreement?
No, definitely not total disagreement. It could have been either between him and Dean Henderson. So, yeah, I'm happy with either, to be fair. I feel like they're both great goalkeepers.
Yeah, okay. Spencer and Chunkz saying Henderson and Pope. You mean he's nailed on Pickford his start in first game. Absolutely guaranteed, under Southgate. Let's move on to the right back, though. This is a hotly contested spot, this right back, because Trent was dropped altogether from the squad over performance-related issues as well. We've got Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier, Reece James. Spencer, who have you gone for?
I've gone Walker, and there is reasons for that. First of all, it wasn't that long ago that Walker was dropped. You remember there was about a year ago, maybe Walker wasn't in any squads for a little bit. And it looked like he maybe was done internationally. So fair play to Gareth for representing form and whatnot. And I don't think I would have left Trent out altogether, but not picking him in the team is probably the right thing to do at the moment. And the reason I've gone with Carl mainly is actually it's all linked to the rest of my back four, and I've gone with a bit of experience of playing together in the defence. We've got like a Man City half and a Man United half to it. I think that I'd like to see Wan-Bissaka called up immediately, because I'm very worried about him going to Democratic Republic of Congo, where he's also eligible for. And I think we need to lock him down. I know it's hard because you also want to look after their own individual career and is he going to get game time for England? But from a selfish England perspective, we need to get him representing England. But Walker's one for me, just about. James looks really solid though. Trippier, I think, potentially, I think I probably always favour youth a little bit, but he should be the one that maybe misses out, and maybe not this tournament, but going forward to allow the other right backs coming through. We've still got Tariq Lamptey to come back as well. Unbelievable right back options.
Yeah, huge options there. Let's get straight to your centre-backs then, because you said the reason you've picked that is to do with the Man United and Man City theme and the partnership. So just reveal your two centre-backs together, and then we'll get Chunks' thoughts on your two centre-backs.
Yeah, well, it's got to be Stones, obviously, because of the form he's in right now. And next to him, I've gone Maguire. So you've got the Stones and you've got the Walker partnership on the right-hand side of the fence. Obviously, they play together regularly. They know that. Maguire, left centre-back there. And next to him, I'm going to have Luke Shaw, because of the Man United partnership there, which I think if you'd asked me a few months ago, there's no way I wouldn't have gone with Ben Chilwell. But I think you've got to acknowledge Luke Shaw's form right now. And again, I think where possible, particularly in defence, if you can get partnerships that are used to playing together, it can make all the difference. So I'm really not too fussed if Chilwell is in at left back, but for me, I'm going with that chemistry.
How impressed have you been with Luke Shaw, kind of that comeback? Because for me, as a Manchester United fan, he's probably been our second best player this season behind Bruno.
I mean, he's unreal. He seems like he's getting man of the match every game at the moment. He's contributing in both ends of the pitch, and he's just showing the form that we all thought he was capable of when he first made that move to United. Obviously had a leg break and a few difficult injuries to get back from. Didn't really work well with Mourinho either, but Solskjaer seems to have brought the best out of him. And it's great for him. I think it's great, again, that Southgate is bringing these guys back in the fold and giving them an opportunity.
Chance, thoughts on that back line? You shouted out the centre-backs before Spencer said them, so I imagine that you're pretty happy with his options there?
Yeah, that back line is exactly the one I chose on a podcast I've done recently. So it's a great back line. It's solid.
Love that. In complete unison. Right, you're playing 4-2-3-1, Spence. You're going to play two sort of sitting midfielders, two defensive midfielders. I would be absolutely flabbergasted if West Ham obsessed Spencer Owen doesn't pick Declan Rice. Am I right?
Has to be.
I'd be flabbergasted if anyone didn't pick Declan Rice. If you're a West Ham fan or not. I think that is what's changed in the last 12 months, right? 12 months ago, maybe Rice still had a few critics or a few people that weren't on the Rice bandwagon. But what West Ham have done this year, I think, has made all the doubters a Rice fan. He's got to be in there for sure. I actually think he's now become a really crucial part of our team, to be honest. I mean, he was in competition with people like Harry Winks, who seems to have dropped off the face of the earth. Sorry, Smithy, but he has in terms of football this year. You know, who's really competing with Rice at the moment? I don't think anyone is. Tell me if you think I'm wrong, but for me, he's got to be in there. And then
he's a top player.
Yeah, and then alongside him, I've got some concerns. I'm going with Jordan Henderson, and obviously, if he's fit, then I've got no concerns with him whatsoever. But is he going to be fit? Has he played enough football? But if he is, then that's the centre mid partnership I'll go with, and I think that's quite a solid start to the team.
Yeah, it's nice. Chunkz, the other name, obviously, we've had Calvin Phillips, Harry Winks. There's Ward-Prowse, who's played in similar positions. Jude Bellingham, I want to talk about, though. The youngest player in the under-21 squad this week, Chunkz, is 19 years of age. Jude Bellingham is 17, and he's in the senior squad. So clearly, Gareth Southgate thinks this man has a huge future.
Jude Bellingham is in that. He's so good at. I really like his football, his play style, and like the fact that he got a senior call up before even going to the 21s. It just shows how much of a great player he is. So now I'm excited for him, man. He's a good kid, man. Can't wait to see what happens for him in the senior squad. And that's actually the two that I picked in midfield as well. So it's going great so far.
There we go. It's going well.
It's going very well. All right, we might get a bit of disagreement right. Might go a bit of disagreement over the right winger, potentially. I want to go to your right winger now because there's a lot of options out here, Spencer. Who have you gone for?
Okay, so again, I'm thinking about link-ups. And for me, this is all a little bit versatile when you get in attacking positions. You can mix and match them and they can swap places. But on the right side, I've got Raheem Sterling. Because you've got that link-up with Kyle Walker on the right side. They're going to know each other very well. I think Sterling's still having a pretty solid season, not maybe some of the standards he's had in previous years, but there's so many options here, it's such a good time to have an England squad. Like, you know, there's so many competitions, obviously going into a tournament. Southgate's job is very hard, but it's a good problem to have because even often we've had tournaments blighted by last minute injuries, and outside of maybe 3 key figures in this team, if someone gets injured, you've got a ready-made replacement in every position. So Sterling gets it. Sancho misses out for me in this team. And I think that's probably going to be most people's way of thinking because he's maybe not hit the same heights recently, but he'll be in the squad.
Okay, Spencer, I feel like these positions are getting very difficult to pick because there's so much quality to pick from. So let's look at your central attacking midfielder. You've got the likes of Mount, Maddison, Foden. Who have you gone with in this position? Because this is not an easy one.
I remember back to the last tournament, this was the position we were kind of a bit critical of in the England team, creative midfield. We had Dele Alli, we had Jesse Lingard, and that was kind of it.
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek was getting a lot of game time. We were kind of wondering where the spark creatively was going to come from. And it seemed in the space of 2-3 years, that's gone. That problem is gone. We have too many attacking midfielders now, and we don't know what to do with them all. I have gone with Phil Foden because I think this kid is special. I'm a big Mount fan. I'm a big Maddison fan. They've got to go still, but Foden is a unique entity. I think he offers a little bit of creativity that the others don't, and I think he's just playing at that level again with the link up with Sterling as well, and the way Man City are playing. You've got to acknowledge it. This is his breakout year, finally getting the game time he deserves, and I think he starts. I think he could put teams to the sword on his own.
Okay, interesting to see about position. I read an interesting article from Pep this week who raves about Phil Foden, as you know, but saying maybe he's better as a winger cutting in rather than as a number 10. It was interesting to read that, but so many options that we got. Joe, let's move straight on to the next position because I'm eagerly anticipating who Spencer's picking next.
Yeah, it's another powerful area, I'd say. On your left wing, you've got the likes of Marcus Rashford out there. You might have Jack Grealish. Also, Sancho can play out there, of course. Have you gone for?
I've gone with Grealish. Right? I want Grealish to start. And again, Grealish and Foden could easily swap in this situation here positionally. I like Foden in the middle. I don't think Pep likes him in the middle as much because he's got Kevin De Bruyne in there, but England don't. So that's why I stick Foden in there. And then Marcus Rashford, it's hard to leave him out because I love Rashford. And you could also argue for the same thing I've got down the right-hand side with the club chemistry. You could have the same with Luke Shaw on the left with Rashford. But again, if Rashford's in there, you're not going to have any complaints from me. I just think a little bit like Foden, Grealish offers something pretty spectacular. And I just love watching him. I just love watching him play football.
Yeah.
I think he's in most people's England 11, isn't he? And just round it off with the probably the easiest name on the team sheet, England captain, I presume. Harry Kane, you're going for here. Not putting words in your mouth, though. Who have you gone for?
I'm saying Mikel Antonio's not captain yet, is he? No, I've gone with
really good.
I've gone with Harry Kane, of course. I think Antonio's actually going to pledge his allegiance to Jamaica now. We've missed the boat on him, which is a big mistake, Gareth, a big mistake. But of course, Harry Kane's got to be in there. I mean, that team excites me, boys. I'm not going to lie. Like, you've got players on the bench who can come on and change the game if you need them. You've got strikers in supply. You've got attacking midfielders. Like, I don't know, poke holes in it if you will, but I think that's pretty solid.
Chunkz, your thoughts on Spencer's team there? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, like, I'm very happy with the team. I would have gone Mason Mount and Rashford on the left, but then to be fair, like it's not people are always going to make, and I say this with quotes, a mistake, but it's like it's going to be difficult to choose an 11 and be over the moon with it. So I feel like that's a great 11. I'll be happy to see that playing in the Euro. So yeah, man.